Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. Today I have got a 30-minute beginner yoga sequence for you. This is a really awesome, accessible yoga class for anyone who is brand new to yoga. I recommend having 2 blocks for today's class. And if you don't have them, don't sweat it. Grab a couple of big books or something that you can put your hand on, like a soup can. And when you're ready, roll out your mat and I'll see you on the mat. Let's start today in all fours. So you'll come to hands and knees with your shoulders right over top of your wrists and your hips above your knees. From here, we'll move through 2 shapes called cat and cow. On your exhale, press the mat away. Spread your shoulder blades apart and tuck your tail towards the mat like a Halloween cat. On your inhale, move through neutral. Take your tailbone up to the ceiling, drop your belly towards the mat, and lift your heart and your face to the sky. This is called cow. Exhale to press the mat away. Find your Halloween cat shape, drawing your belly button in. And inhale to drop your belly button down and lift your tail, your heart, and your face. We'll do that a couple more times. Exhale, Halloween cat. Inhale into your cow. Exhale, Halloween cat. Inhale into your cow. On your next exhale, you'll tuck your toes, walk your hands, one hand print forward from where they are now, tuck your toes, and lift your hips back to an upside down V shape. This is called downward facing dog. And if you've ever seen a dog do a downward facing dog, you'll notice that they have nice bent knees. So look for bent knees in your downward facing dog as well. Your heels might lift off the mat, but with your bent knees, you can take your tail up towards the sky and really find a nice long spine. In downward facing dog, your priority is your nice long spine, not perfectly straight legs. Just notice how it feels to wait there on your hands. It might feel a little bit tricky. Try to breathe. At the end of your next exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and take lots of tiny steps to the middle of your mat and walk your hands back towards your feet. Eventually, you'll find nice bent knees. You can land your belly on your thighs, grab opposite elbows, and start to fold forward. Let the crown of your head be heavy. If it feels uncomfortable for you to let the crown of your head be heavy, so if you're feeling tension through the back of your neck, give your head a shake or nod and see if you can let that tension dissipate. Now release your hands down to the mat, keep the bend in your knees, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, very slowly roll up to stand 1 vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, you can roll your shoulders up, down, and back, and turn your palms to face forward. Turn to face the long side of your mat. We'll find a shape here called Tadasana, or mountain pose. You'll set your feet hip width distance apart and parallel to one another. Hip width is roughly the size of 2 fists between the arches of your feet, so you could even bend down and check that out. It tends to be a little bit more narrow than we first think. Parallel to one another means that the pinky sides of your feet are parallel to the sides of your mat. You might feel a little bit pigeon-toed when you take this position. Good. Now feel your connection of your feet to the earth. And we'll start to find neutral in your pelvis here. So think about wrapping your inner thighs back in space. You'll end up kind of getting this Donald Duck butt. Your bum will stick out a little bit. That's okay, just to start. You're wrapping your inner thighs back, and as you do that, lengthen your tail down towards the mat. You'll feel your lower belly firm in and up. Turn your palms to face forward. Draw your lower ribs in. This is mountain pose. Close your eyes and for a moment just feel. It's funny that even just standing here with all this proper engagement can be tricky. Gently blink your eyes open. If you have blocks or books, you can take them as high as they go to either side of your mat. From here, step your feet out really nice and wide. If you were to reach your fingertips off to the side, your wrists should be about in line with your ankles. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look at your pinky toe side of your left foot. Keep the pinky toe side of your left foot parallel to the side of your mat or slightly pigeon-toed. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes to turn out. You'll bend your right knee off to a 90-degree angle or thereabouts. You want to make sure that you can see your right big toe on the inside of your right thigh. If your right knee is coming in, think about squeezing your right butt cheek to open up your knee a little bit more. And then reach your fingertips front and back. Just look over your middle finger of the right hand. This is Warrior Two. Press into the pinky side of your left foot. And start to reach your right fingertips towards your right side of your room. You'll bend your right elbow, bring your right elbow to your right thigh, and sweep your left fingertips to the sky. This is called extended side angle pose. It can be tempting here, especially if you're new to yoga, to dump into the right side body. Try to press up and out of your elbow and maintain length through the entire right side, your torso and between your ear and your shoulder. Maybe you look up. Press down into your feet to come back up to Warrior Two. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten out your right leg, turn your right toes in. Your right foot is parallel to the back of your mat or slightly pigeon-toed. Turn your left toes out. Bend your left knee to a square. Make sure you can see your left big toe on the inside of your left thigh. If your knee is coming in, wrap your left inner thigh up and back in space. Press into the outside of your right foot. Reach through your fingertips really brightly. Look over your left middle finger and breathe. Bring your left elbow to your left knee, sweep your right fingertips up to the sky. Once more, try to make sure you're not dumping into your left side body and that you've gone slack in the upper body. Keep yourself active and lifted. Keep reaching through your right fingertips. And as best you can, stay so light on your left elbow that you could float it. So it's very lightly resting there. Press into your feet, inhale back up to Warrior Two. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten out your left leg. Turn your left toes in. Turn your right toes out. Shorten your stance a tiny bit by bringing your left heel in, your left toes in. Make sure the pinky side of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Reach through your fingertips. Keep your right leg long without locking out your knee. So you'll put a little micro bend so that you're not mashing or hyperextending your joints. Start to reach your right fingertips towards the right side of the room. Your pelvis will want to tilt in space. Allow it to do so. As you reach your right fingertips to the right, your left hip will reach back in space. Exhale your right hand down to your block. Sweep your left fingertips up to the sky. This is called triangle pose. Try to lean your upper body back a little bit, but keep your floating ribs drawing in. To come out of this, put a soft bend in your right knee, press into your feet, and come back up through this straight leg position. You can take your block off to the side, bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Reach through your fingertips. You've already shortened your stance, so you do not need to do that the second time. Reach your left fingertips towards the left side of the room. Again, let your pelvis shift in space. Try to suck your left thigh back up towards your torso. Keep reaching your left fingertips forward. Eventually your left hand will come down to your block and your right fingertips will reach towards the ceiling. Just like an extended side angle, there's space through the left side of your torso and between your shoulder and your ear. Look down, put a little bend in your left knee, inhale back up, bring your hands to your hips, straighten out your left leg, left toes turn in, then you can heel toe your feet back together. You'll shift your weight into your right foot, pop up onto your left tippy toes. Squeeze your left butt cheek to open your knee. Now when you're opening your knee off to the side, you'll notice that by squeezing your glute, squeezing that left butt cheek, it's actually your hip that is rotating. Your knee isn't doing any rotation at all. You can keep the toes of your left foot on the mat, or you can bring them to your right calf muscle. If balance feels tricky today, maybe you come to a wall space and take your tree pose from there. Once you've found your shape, bring your hands to prayer at heart center. You'll press your foot into your leg as well as your leg into your foot. You'll press your palms towards one another. Are you breathing? It's okay if you catch a wibble. It's okay if you catch a wobble or a stumble. It means that your body is learning something new. So if you fall out of your balance shape, you can come right back into it. You'll place the sole of your foot on the mat and then shake it out. Let's swap sides. Your hands come to your hips. You're shifting weight into your left foot and popping onto the right tippy toes. Again, you'll squeeze your right butt cheek to open your hip off to the side. Open that knee off to the side. The sole of your right foot can come anywhere along your left leg except for your knee joint. So if you went above the knee on the second time, you might try that here, but please never put any pressure on the joints in your knees. They do not like that. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. And try to imagine that you could suck the right side and the left side of your body towards one another. So draw everything to the center line of your body. And then I'm going to ask you again, are you breathing? Place the sole of your foot on the mat. Let's shake it out. All right. You'll step to the front of your mat. On your inhale, reach up. On your exhale, fold forward. You'll bend your knees a little bit. Bring your hands to the mat. You'll keep your right foot as it is. Step your left foot back. Bend your left knee. Hug your inner thighs together. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up to the sky. Your fingers are bright. Try to reach your tail down towards the mat. Make sure that your knee is either behind your ankle or right on top of it. You never want your knee forward from your ankle in yoga. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to frame your right foot. You'll tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and try to step forward to the top of your mat. Now, take a big step back with your right foot. Tap your right knee down. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up to the sky. Wrap your right outer hip forward. Lift the top of your hips up. Draw your lower ribs down. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot. This time a little bit different. You'll plant your hands. Make sure that your index fingers, so your pointer fingers, are parallel to one another. You'll tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, press down, think scary cat, spread the shoulder blades apart, lift your belly up, and then step back to the top of a push-up. You're staying here for one big inhale. On your exhale, bring your knees down to the mat and lower all the way down. To lower, your elbows will touch the sides of your waist. When you get down onto your belly, you'll create thumbs up with your hands and bring your fists to the mat with your thumbs pointing out. Press the tops of your feet down, and just like Tadasana, mountain pose, wrap your inner thighs up towards the ceiling and lengthen your tail towards your heels. You're looking for that firming in of your lower belly, just like in mountain. Keep pressing your toenails down. On your inhale, lift your heart, your face, your hands, still in their thumbs up, and then rotate your thumbs up towards the ceiling. Hopefully you feel your shoulder blades squeeze towards one another. Take an inhale. On your exhale, slowly lower all the way down and take one of your cheeks to the mat. You don't have to do anything in this shape except for breathe. We'll try that one more time. Bring your forehead to the mat. Press the tops of your feet down. On your inhale, lift your face, your heart, and your hands, turning your thumbs to the ceiling. Either stay pressing your toenails into the earth, or start to reach your big toes back behind you. Eventually they'll start to float, and you'll zip your two big toes and inner thighs together. The back of your neck is long. Inhale. Exhale, roll all the way down, take your other cheek to the mat. Bring your forehead down, plant your hands by your lowest ribs, draw your navel to your spine, so suck your belly button in, press up to all fours. Walk your hands back towards your knees so that you're sitting on your heels, and then you'll swing your legs in front of you. Extend your legs long in front of you and take your hands behind you. You can just shake out your legs. Keep your left leg long. Bend your right knee. You'll place the sole of your right foot on the outside of your left thigh, making sure the entire sole of your foot presses down into the earth. Take your right fingertips behind you. Make sure you're not dumping again to the right side or crunching forward. As best you can, you'd like your chest to be lifted. If you notice that you're rounding, try sitting on a prop and lift your spine long. Take an inhale, reach your left fingertips to the sky. On your exhale, you'll bend your left elbow as you twist towards the right, hooking your left elbow on your right knee. If this feels like a bit too much today, another option is give your right leg a squeeze with your left hand instead. No matter where you are, you're trying to rotate your chest towards the right side of the room. Make sure that you're able to breathe. Very gently unravel and look forward. You'll take your left fingertips behind you, take your right leg long, and shake out your legs. Let's switch sides. Keep your right foot active as is. Place the sole of your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. Take your left fingertips behind you again, staying cautious that you're upright, not rounding. And keep your right foot flexed as though you're pressing your foot into a wall. Inhale, right fingertips reach up. Exhale, bend your right elbow as you twist towards the left. Remember, your second option is to give yourself a big hug. Very gently unravel, look forward. Once more, you'll take both of your legs long. Option 1, you'll set your feet hip-width distance apart. Option 2, you can glue your two big toes together. I like to set my feet hip-width distance apart. It gives me a little bit more space. We're going to take a forward fold. Now, to get into your hamstrings, rewind. There are two ways of forward folding. There is hinging at the waist, which looks like this, which is not what we're going for. That's not really going to stretch your hamstrings. It's going to more stretch your lower back, which has its time and its place, but not what we're doing right now. To stretch your hamstrings, you want to hinge at your hips rather than your waist. And a way to ensure that you do that is to bend your knees. You want your pelvis to be tilting slightly forward. So bend your knees, tilt your pelvis forward, and notice how your posture is. You should be able to sit upright with very little effort. And this could be quite bent knees, that's totally fine. Or you could sit on a block. Sitting on a block will also intentionally tilt your pelvis forward without you having to do the work of bending your knees. So you've tilted your pelvis forward, your spine is long, you're feeling amazing. Now, intentionally tilt your pelvis backward in space and notice what happens to your posture. So you went from tilting the pelvis forward to tilting your pelvis backward, extending your legs, and now look at your posture, or feel your posture, look at my posture. Feels pretty shitty. I don't know if I'm supposed to say shitty in a yoga video, but it's my channel, so I'm saying it. Okay, doesn't feel very good. So, tilt it forward, nice fresh posture. Tilt it back, ew. Tilt it forward. Reach your fingertips to the sky. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, think up and over as you fold. Land your belly on your thighs. Maybe your hands come down to somewhere along the mat. The crown of your head is the very last thing to fold forward. And that's even if it does fold forward. You can stay upright here, that's great. Now, if you're quite flexible and you're thinking, this is great, Kate, but I still don't feel the stretch in my hamstrings, then keep your belly on your thighs and start to straighten out the legs. Big inhale, your chest lifts. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, tuck your chin towards your chest, slowly roll all the way up. And then you'll place the soles of your feet on the mat and roll all the way down onto your back. When you get down onto your back, you're setting up here for the most important shape of the yoga practice. And this is a shape called Shavasana. You'll extend your legs long. Let your arms go long alongside you with your palms facing the ceiling. You want to feel as though you could completely let go and relax here. And once you've found your relaxing shape, just close your eyes and let all of your hard work sink in. Know that you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. When you're ready to move out, you'll slowly deepen your breath and begin to bring small movements to your fingers and toes. You can give your head a shake from side to side, and maybe you give yourself a final full body stretch by pointing through your toes as you reach your arms up overhead. When you're ready, you'll bend into one knee and then the other. Roll over onto your right side and just pause there briefly to check in and notice how you're feeling. When you're ready, you'll press into your left palm, come up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth with a sigh. And we end with the word that means the divine light in me bows to the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you so very much for sharing your time with me. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. You can comment down below with your favorite part of today's class, or let me know what kinds of yoga or fitness videos you'd like to see in the future. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see these videos from me. I put out one yoga video and one workout video a week, and sometimes I add little surprises here and there. I hope you have a really fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.